and renowned Cyndi Dale, author, speaker, healer, and the author of 27 books about energy medicine, intuition, and spirituality. This is Andy Asher, editor of BloomerBoomer.com, and we invite you to be part of the journey on the platform that will launch you toward the most fulfilling life you want after 55. Today, Cyndi talks about energizing your goals. Of course, we're going to set New Year's resolutions, and how can we select objectives that will work? How can we energize ourselves toward action? It's all about energy. Come and select and activate your heart's desires. And now, here's Cyndi Dale.
Thank you. Thank you, Andy. Hi, everybody. I think one of our shared goals, now that we're nearing the end of 2020, is just to get over the hump into 2021. So if there's any year that we're approaching with some sense of relief and maybe glee, it is 2021. And, I know that we're going to be a little bit restricted probably for the first few months of 2021, but doesn't it feel really good to think about new activities, new ways to grow, to be, and probably again, more than any other year, we can select goals that are really going to be meaningful for who we are. Can't select goals that are meaningful for other people. I've tried that as a mother. My kids don't take on the goals I set for them. So you have to do this for yourself. And, we're going to have like a spring in our step, but probably by the time we get to spring or summer. So let's make use of that. Let's design a forward movement that will keep us moving. I do energy work, and sometimes people ask me, what is that? Is that like acupuncture, or do you do herbs? And I actually work on the more invisible side of energy medicine. Energy is just information that moves. Everything's made out of energy. Your feelings, your thoughts, your clothes, your car. The coronavirus is made out of energy. Absolutely everything measurable, but also not measurable, is made out of energy. And I specialize in ways of moving the stuff that composes reality, the 99.999%, of reality that decides what's going to appear and what's going to disappear. So when I'm working with people, I will frequently talk to them about their motivations and their goals and what they really want to accomplish. Because if we don't get all of that clear inside of ourselves, we're going to end up not where we really want to go, or another way to say it, we're going to end up kind of where other people want us to go rather than where we want to go. So how do we create goals that really have substance and that we know without a doubt we will be excited to activate and to motivate ourselves toward, and are reasonable and practical? Even that thought of making a goal practical comes to my mind, a story from years and years ago. My now 21-year-old son, when he turned about, I don't know, I guess he was going into third grade or fourth grade or whatever, wanted to be just like Michael Jackson. And he wanted a comparably priced guitar, electrical guitar, so he could grow up and be a really famous rock and roller. And so I think he started working on me around, I don't know, the middle of December. And he said, Mom, I'm setting my New Year's resolutions. And I said, what are they? And he said, my most important New Year's resolution is you buy me this $1,500 guitar, electrical guitar. I said, well, that's a really good resolution to set for me, but I think you need to be setting this for yourself. I said, so go and think about how you could make that happen for yourself. And a day or two later, he came back and he said, well, I have a list to show you. And it was, in pigeon writing, and, he's in third or fourth grade. And he said, these are all the chores I could do and the money you could pay me for them. So by January 1st, by New Year's, I can have already met my New Year's resolution. So I looked at his list, and on it was like, clean the toilet, $100. And that was not going to involve lifting the lid or cleaning under his bed, $300. And I'm like, first of all, he's never going to do it. And second, $300. Wash the dog. That was a whopping $200, which I don't even wash the dogs. I let somebody else wash the dogs because they're like 90-pound dogs. And as soon as you throw them in the bathtub, they spring out wet and the entire house is wet within just a few seconds. So I said, Gabe, these just aren't reasonable. And he said, well, here's what I have to say. He said, if you don't buy me a guitar, I'm going to grow up to be a lawyer. So I can argue with anybody else that they have to get me what I want. Now, I don't know why he was so negative about lawyers. I'm not personally, kind of anti-lawyers, but I thought, wow, this kid's going to be rich someday. I just can't let it be completely off of me. And, he did talk me into getting him a guitar. So his resolution worked, one way or another. But we don't all have sugar mamas to try to convince into getting us what we want or helping us to lose weight or do this or to do that. So we're going to spend some time working with the nature of goals, working with the energy of goals so that we select one or two goals, one or two reasonable resolutions that we really know we can achieve and they're important to us. Again, they don't need to be important to other people. It's about who we are. And to accomplish this, we're going to work through energy centers called the chakras. These are just like organs, except they're not measurable, that allow you to turn physical energy into invisible energy and invisible energy into physical energy. They're the stuff of your dreams. They make your dreams come true. These are energy centers that when you operate through them and or you set goals through them, they sort of hone your thoughts and your feelings and your behaviors, and they get you on down the highway. So why would we not establish our goals? Goals that mean something to us spiritually, like they express who we really are. Psychologically, meaning we will find pleasure in not just the achieving of the goal, but the getting of the goal. And physically, these are goals that we can do, we can accomplish. Why would we not work with our energy centers to select those goals and then to like ding, like ring the new year in these chakras so that we're automatically on that road to whatever is going to bring us delight. So I'm actually going to walk you through 7 chakras. These are in the body. We're only going to visit each for a minute, not even a whole minute. The first 2, I'm going a little out of order, but there's a reason for that. You're going to really be able to meet these chakras or learn what they are as we're doing this exercise. And you can reuse this exercise to set any goals, not just New Year's goals. And then in the end, we're going to ignite these energy centers and the 1 or 2 goals you come up with so that you can meet the match for next year. You can do what it is you want to do next year, but you can do this for anything that you want to accomplish as well. So take a couple deep breaths, just breathe in. It's best to breathe in through your nose and fill your lungs and fill in your body. And exhale and just let go of your concerns and I can't, or all those goals you set before that you never did. You know what? Water under the bridge doesn't make any difference. You're going to establish goals that you will want to and actively will achieve for next year. So I'm going to just ask whatever it is you call your higher power or your wise self to help you focus in what's called the Sick Chakra. It's in the brow. It's a purple energy center in the forehead. And it's here that we receive visions of our future. I want you to imagine you are 3 years from now, not just 1, 3 years from now, and you love your life. You so enjoy it. I want you to get a sense of that life. Maybe you don't see it like the third eye enables you to do this, 6th chakra enables you to do, but you feel it. You feel satisfied. You feel like you're yourself. And you know what? The goal or goals you set back in 2020 to initiate further in 21 are what got you here in 3 years. I just want you to know that. Whatever images you get or senses, just focus on what's real and brings joy. And then I'm just going to move you. You're going to move with my voice up to the top of your head. This is the 7th chakra, and you're still going to be in the future. And I want you to get a sense of that future you. What do you value? What's really important, most deeply valuable about that life 3 years from now? Is it love, what you're doing, what you're around? But even spiritually, how are you feeling about that future life in terms of how it's supporting you and expressing who you really truly are? So that 7th chakra on the top of the head, it's a white center. You're gathering thoughts and constructs about your value system. Now you're going to flow down. You're still 3 years out. You're going to what's called the 5th chakra. It's a blue center in the throat. You're getting settled in there. You're still 3 years from now, and you're talking with somebody, and you're explaining to them what you're all about, what you're doing in your life that you love so much. Yeah, this is what I'm able to be or do. And you're finishing that sentence in your head as if you're sharing it in 3 years. And you can go back to this and redo that, but you're at least sensing how you're communicating about who you are in this and through this communication center. Now you're going into your heart chakra. It's in the chest area. It's green. There you are in that home of your body. You're 3 years out. And you know what? You're getting a feeling of the type of people or beings you love being with. You love helping or interacting with. Where's your love relationships 3 years out? And then you move, there's 3 more chakras we're going to visit down into your solar plexus. It's a yellow center. It's around structure. This one's really important for resolutions. You're still 3 years out, and you're kind of gazing back in time, and you're going, oh, here are the 1 or 2 goals I set 3 years ago that got me here. That 3rd chakra is about structure. These are the 1 or 2 goals I established, I came up with at the end of 2020, and they got me to this amazing place in space. And that'd be 3 years from now. Focus on those 1 or 2 ideas that pop in for you. And then you're going into your abdomen. It's orange. It's the 2nd chakra. So one about feelings and creativity. You have at least an awareness of those 1 or 2 goals. And now you're still 3 years from now. You're looking back. You're reflecting on, I felt joy by doing that goal or those goals these ways. I was happy to take the steps to meet those goals because I did it in this way. I mean, there's many ways to do things like learn how to dance or meet a mate or get a new place. What are the ones that brought you the greatest satisfaction and happiness? And then finally, we're going to go down into what's called the first chakra. It's in your hips. It's the base. This is the activation chakra. It's red. That's fire. That's passion. And I want you to focus on those 1 or 2 goals and hold yourself like really strongly in your hips, sort of like Taekwondo masters do. Like, I'm here. I'm in my body. And I want you to just make a decision. I am setting this goal or these goals. They will get me to XYZ in 3 years. And I'm most excited to accomplish these particular tasks in 2021. I'm most particularly happy and excited to accomplish these particular tasks in 2021. Those are your resolutions. And I want you to feel that those are even now by your own inner sage or higher power, literally getting energized. The energies of nature, of your loved ones, of whatever you call your higher power, the greater spirit, are all coming together to energize those tasks toward your higher goals. And if everything goes faster, that's a-okay too. Take a couple deep breaths. You can at any point go redo this exercise or write down what you came up with, but don't you feel ready to get going? You're ready. You don't even have to wait until 2021. You can start on any of those tasks immediately. And a happy 2021 to all of us. Thank you, Andy, for letting me share that with everybody.
Well, I really love the way you look at that through chakras, because it's a little less, like materialistic and all the other things we often look at through New Year's resolutions. So that's a really nice way to approach it. And
it is too, isn't it? And I ran my youngest son through this, kind of a couple months ago, the one who had threatened to become a lawyer. And he appreciated it too, because he wants to be a famous baseball pitcher. Mm-hmm. But instead of just, focusing on that, he could then kind of go, oh, I want to learn how to do this, or I want to have fun with my girlfriend while I'm going through, kind of all my training. Mm-hmm. So you get to flesh your life out more when you look at it through the chakras too.
Oh, okay. There were, so that sort of answers a couple of the questions, but from Brian, he says his granddaughter swears off setting New Year's resolutions, and Brian says by the way, he lives by them, and he thinks maybe he'll turn his granddaughter onto your shows. Maybe that'll help.
It might. A lot of young people sort of inherently understand energy because they're more willing to believe, kind of what they can see in their head or what they can sense or what they can feel or their intuition. So, you may want to even write this exercise down and just walk her through it, Brian. That would be very exciting for her, I think.
And this one's from Stephanie. She's just wondering, with 2020 being so weird and forgettable, she wonders what she should do about 2021 or whether it affects her resolutions.
I think that the way to look at that is that we know we're going to have 5 or 6 months of 2021 that are going to be kind of slow. We're still going to be a little isolated. You're going to want to be gentle with yourself in the first half of the year. So I know when I set my resolutions for 2021, a lot of them are a little more internal for the 6, they still lead to something bigger, but my activities are more internal for the first 6 months of the year and more external for the second 6 months of the year. So I would look at it sort of like you got 2 half years, and you still want a bigger goal, right? And bigger goals, but what makes sense to do in the first half versus the second half?
Yeah, this is from Joyce, and you've probably heard this before. She worries that she might set up unachievable goals or resolutions.
Yes, that's why I like people to think 3 years out. So the pressure isn't just on this year. I mean, think about how long it takes to get somewhere. I write books, and you don't, I mean, you can write one in a year, but it takes 3 years from conception to getting it out there. So look longer. You're gentler with yourself. You're not going to procrastinate because you're not going to feel the pressure, of doing everything in 1 year. But then think about what's reasonable to do this year that's going to be enjoyable. I think you're going to find that you'll take those actions because you're not setting yourself up for failure.
Well, thank you, Cyndi. That answers it. That's really a good way to start looking at 2021.
I know we're all glad that we're going to be turning this calendar.
That's right. Well, we'll see you next year.
We will. Thank you.
Okay. And you have a good holiday, and thanks for your time. Thanks for being there.
Everybody else, and to you too, Andy.
Okay. And thank you all for watching. Cyndi Dale, internationally renowned author, speaker, healer, and business consultant, and author of 27 books about energy medicine, intuition, and spirituality. You can find out more on Facebook, YouTube, and Bloomer Boomer. And if you like this, please like us on Facebook. Meantime, so long, and we will see you next time.